Hi guys, I'm gonna talk about the cars that I've had. I've had 41 cars, as I said earlier. So my first car was a Volkswagen Golf GTI 1.8 liter turbo 99 MK4 Mark IV. The car was stick shift. I had it for almost 3 years. Did nothing really a lot to it, but I did some things. Just my first car that I modify or do something with. One of the first thing I did was I was gonna shave the front bumper. I literally lived on Volkswagen Vortex forums, Mark IV forums. A lot of DUIs there and a lot of cool cars. So I started shaving it. I just took the front bumper list off and started sanded it down and put some filler into it, just a normal filler, and filled it with I don't know how much, many kilos of filler. And in the end, of course, it cracked. So I just decided to paint it like the German flag. So I did that. I did put a straight pipe exhaust in it at first, and it was kind of awesome for the first 1 or 2 days. You just needed to hit the throttle a little bit, and then you got exploding out of your exhaust, like bang bang. So that was pretty cool at first, but it got annoying in the end, so loud. After that I put a muffler on it, but straight pipe into a muffler, pretty loud still. I put 17-inch wheels on it. The car was lowered a bit by heating the springs, which is not a good idea, but that was what I and one guy I worked with, we did it on a lift. So we heated the springs, put it down and let it settle a little bit. So I did Alpine head unit, blacked out grille, debassed the trunk, and yeah, I drove it for like almost 3 years, and not much broke down like you hear about in these Volkswagens, but of course the GTI is much better than the normal editions. So, and here's a picture of it at one stage. But after that picture, I got another bumper, painted it white, so it looked better. I also painted the wheels white, but don't have a picture of it right now, so just I have this picture. So finally, when I sold the Volkswagen GTI, after a long time trying to sell it, I sold it for much less than I hoped for, but whatever. My second car was a BMW 316 4-cylinder. It was manual transmission. It had an LSD lock differential from factory, 25%. The things I did to it, I got it pretty original, almost just stock, so it just looked like that. And then I modified it a bit, my first BMW. I made angel eyes from scratch. Me and my friend, I bought some shades, window shades, and it had a clear stick to open and close them. Bought 4 window shades to get 4 rings, and we made it from that. Cut rings all around it to make the light fill it, and then we got LED lights and wired it all up. and got it to work, but didn't last for that long. I got new taillights, front side markers, trunk lip and roof spoiler, the thing on the top of the window in the rear. 18-inch Bayern mesh wheels, 8.5-inch front and 9.5-inch rear, and some tires, blacked out kidney grills, shift knob, checkered pattern colored headliner. So that pretty much I got from the Volkswagen scene, doing the headliner in some crazy pattern. So the headliner was refinished like a chessboard, checkered, black and white. And then I did a exhaust muffler, and I got lower springs for 6-cylinder. At the time I was thinking about swapping on 6-cylinder in the car, so I wasn't too worried about that, but it was a little bit higher in front than the rear, so yeah. So that's how it ended. I sold my first BMW because I thought it was too clean to go drift in it and stuff like that, so I sold it and I bought a E36 again, 318/96. I pretty much damaged it the day after I bought it, grinded it on a light pole, the whole side, but I fixed it myself, bought 2 new doors, painted them myself also, and also the front wing, the fender. So I ripped all the interior out just to lighten it, all but the front seats and the dashboard. Took it to a track day, and one of the rear shocks just blew right through the strut tower. So, and got my uncle to fix that after I got the piece cut out of a part car somewhere in a part yard, so fixed that. But then I decided to sell it, put all the interior in again, and it's so much nicer to drive after having all the interior back again. So less sound and stuff like that. So, and that is what it looked like. On to my 4th car. That was a Subaru Impreza, 2-liter non-turbo, 98. Blacked out headlights, stick shift, VRX muffler, had a fart con before, very ugly, and had it for not long because I got a deal on a GT turbo, so I sold it pretty quickly, but that is what it looked like. So my 5th car before buying the turbo Impreza was a normal Impreza, which I just bought for the front bumper because it had a GT front bumper on it, and the guy wouldn't sell it with just the bumper, so I bought the car, towed it all the way from outside town, just in a lot of rain and stuff like that, and in the end I did not use the bumper, so kind of funny. That was my 5th car. It was orange and really ugly after just guys trashing it around it. I don't have a picture of that, but... So, on to my 6th car. That was the turbo Subaru Impreza GT, 2000 model, 2-liter turbo, stick shift. I bought it with a broken gearbox, so I took it to a shop and they installed 2007 VRX internals, and then I blacked out the headlights, ripped the eyelids off and some other exterior things I didn't like, and this is what it looked like after. On to my 7th car, a BMW E39 523i, automatic, facelift kidney grills I did to it, switch out the ambers for the whites, new emblems, shadow line. This is what it looked before. And after. On to car number 8. BMW E36 318 IS, MTEC, LSD. Already had a M50 B20, but a 2-liter 6-cylinder. But it had issues after a while. I put an M3 front lip on it. I had it for a little while. It looked good, but didn't perform and was shutting off once in a while. The electrical stuff wasn't quite good, so while I was fixing that, I'm just gonna show you a picture of it here. Onto my 9th car, which I bought while I was fixing the purple one, or at least was gonna fix it. A Volkswagen Golf 1.6 liter 98 Mark IV. Bought it as a daily, but had a broken reverse gear, and after a week of driving it, it kind of died because of electrical issues. Sold it to some guy, but apparently his daughter crashed it, and after a week I saw it on the track with some other guy, and it was caged and stuff like that, doing rallycross. Kind of funny. I don't have a picture of it, but so my 10th car was a BMW 318 with a M50 B25 non-minus swap. I bought it just to use it to swap into the purple MTEC 318 IS, but I just ended up cleaning it up, putting some wheels on it, changed the headlights and the taillights just to make it clean, and then I sold both of them, the purple one and this black one, and this is what it looked like. So I sold the purple and the black E36s to buy E39 540, which was my 11th car. It was a 540 96 sport package inside, the sport seat and stuff like that. Really nice car. I didn't do much to it. I cleaned it up, put some Style 65 wheels on it, taillights because the old ones were cracked, so, and it looked pretty good. Here is the before. And here's the after. Alright, onto my 12th car. That was a BMW E38 725 diesel, 97 automatic, and there I got 18-inch Rondell 58s with it, which I put on it, so not much. I'll just leave pictures of it here. So my 13th and 14th car. The 13th was a black BMW E34 525 diesel. It had a manual gearbox and everything, but didn't have an engine. So I bought a part car, which was my 14th car, another BMW E34 diesel, but it was automatic. So I took the engine out of the automatic one and put in the manual one, and put some wheels on it. I'll just put some picture of it here. On to my 15th car, Super Impreza non-turbo, probably around 97 or something. It was just trash. I bought it cheap. Some guy who owned horses had it, and it smelled so bad. So bad. Me and my friend took it out one night in the snow just to go play in the snow, drift and stuff like that. And we both smelled so bad after it. We had to put all of our clothes in the washing machine. I tried to clean it, but it didn't work. It was so stuck in everything. The seats, but it was stuck there. So I sold it pretty quickly after that. Don't have a picture of it, but whatever. So, my 16th car. That was a BMW E30 shell, which was caged, but not fully finished, just a rolling shell. Bought it with my friend. We were gonna build a drift car together, but it didn't seem like such a good idea after we bought it. So, well, my car already had a E30 and the body of his car was not so good, so I pretty much gave him my part of the BMW shell, so he could make his car better, swap everything over. So that ended like that. Don't have a picture of it. To my 17th car. That was a BMW E46 380i, manual, touring. Some may call it a wagon. All I did was put an exhaust muffler on it. I had for probably a week before I traded it for a E36 328i. And here's a picture of that. Onto my 18th car, the BMW E36 328i, 95 model. Already had the undercarriage, pretty much everything. It had polybushing, LSG. It was originally automatic, but they put a manual in it, so yeah, that was already done. So pretty much for me, it was the cosmetic side that was needed to be done. I got it resprayed, Le Mans Blue, and it already had coilovers, a short shifter. So before I took it to a shop to let him respray it, he rolled and pulled the fenders so I can fit 18-inch Rondel 58s with 5 series offset under it. I put an exhaust muffler on it, taillights and side blinkers. The 18-inch Rondels were 8.5 inches wide in the front, and in the back 10 inches. It was staggered setup, pretty wide. I put two 15/35s tires in the front and two 25/40 in the back, pretty stretched out. And I also took it one time to the track, but it was such a nice car, I didn't do it again because I didn't want to ruin it. So, but I'll put before pictures when it was gray, and then after I modified it, and some track pictures. Let's go.